Hi there, welcome. Welcome to Homekeepers. Why don't you grab a cup of tea and join us today? You'll really be glad you did, but I do want to welcome you before I tell you what's going to happen. I know we get new viewers every day. I just absolutely know that. We hear from them too from time to time. Welcome. And those regular ones, I was going through a regular list yesterday, and oh, I wish I could express how much I appreciate you, some of you for many, many years. So God bless you. You know what the Bible says? It's required of a steward that a man be found faithful. Not brilliant, not talented, not all of the things that we look at sometimes, but be faithful. And some of you are very faithful and you're giving to this program. And I want you to know you're appreciated, that's for sure. All right, I got a favorite guest here. In fact, he and I probably been on the TV together off and on for over 30 years, and that's attorney Joseph Pippen. And I've really learned to appreciate him through the years. And so we kind of put out the word, I did here in this building, that if you have any questions for an attorney on estates, end-of-life issues, wills, trusts, and so forth, send them to me. And so these are all from our employees here at the network. But in the future, if you want to send me your question for Attorney Pippen, we'll put them all together and ask him to come back and we will answer them. You can email them to us or send them to us. But I just want to know what your questions are, because he has guided me through losing my mom a few years ago. And what an education. Everybody needs to know about the end-of-life issues. And I have learned this one thing, that when people go in and they take care of them, they get it all settled, it's like a weight off. So maybe we'll have your question today. Anyway, we're glad that he's here. And we're going to make, I can hardly wait to taste it, a burrito bake. And, well, we'll explain it when I get over there with Stephanie, but I do know that's my lunch today. I can't imagine anybody who would not like this one. So let us know. But before I join her, this State of Your Estate organizer, we've sent out thousands of these. I don't know a better offer, because it is so complete and it asks every question really that needs to be asked for those end-of-life issues and gives you a way to organize them. And we're offering it for your gift of any amount to this program. Now, you can use your credit card, 1-800-229-0059, or you can write to us. And I pray you would make it a generous gift for the ministry. And if you want to just use the address, that's Box 6922, Clearwater, Florida, 33758, or the telephone number for your credit cards. We'll be glad to get it out to you. It's a valuable piece of information that you are able to take advantage of if you would like. Hello there.
Hi there. I sent one of those to my parents.
Did you?
So yes, very helpful.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because there are answers in there for questions you would never dream of.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I can tell you, as I've mentioned many times going through my mom's situation, what an education it is. And
you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She took care of every single thing, and I can only bless her for that. Mm-hmm. Just bless her for it. All right.
Okay, so I'm going to need you to spray the pan for me. I have a pound of ground beef, and I'm going to put some onions in here. I'm going to put a bag of taco seasoning, which I make my own taco seasoning at home. So.
And it's better than that?
It's better, and it doesn't have all the preservatives. Yes. So if
well,
you want that recipe, I'll gladly
I've
share
never, ever even thought of
yes.
making taco seasoning.
Yeah, and then I have a can of refried beans. So, you know, like a couple months ago, I said, Arthelene, how about if we don't do any more taco bakes, because we've done 1 million?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do a burrito bake instead.
Boy, this is an entree, though. I'm telling you.
Yeah, so I'm going to mix this up. You're going to cut lettuce up for me.
And this is a topping, really.
I'm going to add just a little bit of water to this, because I didn't even have any grease from the hamburger.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. And this is pretty thick, so let's just add a little water here. Loosen it up. So we also have crescent rolls. I'm gonna line the bottom of a 13 by 9 pan with crescent rolls. Then we're gonna put this yumminess on top. Then we're gonna put cheese on top of that and bake it. Yummy, right? Okay, be nice to that can.
Yeah, I will.
Last time you beat the can to death.
Yeah.
My mother called me hysterical laughing after that one, by the way. She's like,
her mother says, your face told me you didn't like that.
I can't help it.
Well,
okay, it's not one of those.
Oh, no wonder.
There you go. There you go.
Oh,
okay.
Now you get to hit it.
Yeah, now you can. Oh, wait,
there.
Nope. Okay, you got it.
Too good.
Take it all the way off. Yeah.
And here's, I'll stir
yes,
this.
Please. Thank you.
All right.
So these are crescent rolls, and if you just unroll them right in the pan, it makes it so simple.
Yeah, you leave them all intact, pretty much, right?
Right, and then we're just gonna seal the perforations. We're gonna just go up the sides a little bit, and that's gonna be your crust, which is gonna make a yummy, yummy crust.
And like I said, this is absolutely a meal.
Oh, for sure. We're only gonna put olives on half of it.
All you need with this is a glass of iced tea.
Yes, for sure. I might even put a little salsa on top.
Okay, now you're really good at working ahead. You could put this thing together the night before, right?
Or you can make a double batch of this and freeze half of it, and then you have it ready. For another night. You just have to roll the crescent rolls out and put it on top.
I tell you, if some of you ladies who think you're just so, overwhelmed, Stephanie has really offered you a lot of good.
It's all about being prepared,
free advice,
and planning, and lists, and it's just how I have to do it now.
Yeah.
Okay, so crescent rolls on the bottom. We sprayed the pan. So I'm just going to take its ground beef, onions, refried beans, and taco sauce. And I'm going to spread this on here.
And these other things go on when it comes out of the oven.
I'm going to put cheese on it, and then it goes in the oven for 30 minutes.
All right.
350.
And
so you're going to cut a piece. Yeah, go ahead and everything can go on top. This can go on half.
Or you can do it after you cut it. What do you think?
I would do it now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, do it all. Yeah.
Need to cut a little more.
Okay, so then the cheese goes on top of here, and you bake it 30 minutes.
And we have taught our viewers too that when you have complaining people who don't like something, you just put it on part of it. You just put on part of the recipe.
I don't know if it's complaining as much as we just have our own. Hey, you don't like spicy, so.
Oh no, don't give me any like hot sauce.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so then you bake that for 30 minutes at 350. I'm going to take this and put. Oops, sorry. I just
and if you don't like black olives, like my good friend Stephanie does, you just put on part of it.
Yeah.
Boy, that looks good.
Tomatoes. And then we'll put olives on half, and then you can get a piece. Yummy. I would also have sour cream for this.
Yes. Don't you love colorful? Oh,
there.
Here. Enjoy some. I will enjoy some after the program, after I've talked.
Okay. Now this says this is 6 servings, but
that's crazy.
That's crazy talk even for Stephanie. Okay. Those would be ginormous servings. So
boy, look at how it hangs together.
Lovely.
I like that.
So you're not gonna try it now?
Not right now.
Just me. Okay.
Just you. So.
Okay.
Get a close up on her face because her face tells us. That's a good look.
You can't go wrong.
I just think this whole crew is thinking, I'm going to have this for lunch.
Yes, that is good.
All right, it is called a burrito bake, and it's yours for the asking. Email's best, but the information is coming up on your screen. And then if you haven't met Attorney Joseph Pippen, he's going to teach you a few things today, okay? Stay with us.
If you would like a copy of today's recipe, you may receive it by contacting us through social media as listed on the screen. When requesting a copy through the mail, be sure to include a self-addressed stamped envelope. Thank you, and please know we always appreciate hearing from our viewers.
All right, this is the day I've been looking forward to because I didn't have to think of the questions. Mostly they came from the colleagues here at the Christian Television Network. And maybe your question is in here today, but please remember, if you want to send me any questions for Attorney Pippen, we'll ask them the next time he's on, because he comes on with some regularity. And welcome back.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Yeah. Let's take just a second. You have a radio show. Is it called?
It's called Ask an Attorney.
When is it on?
It's every Saturday morning at 8 o'clock.
On WFLA?
It's on multiple stations all through Florida.
Okay.
I'm now also streaming the program on Facebook Live. And there's a website called webeamtv.com. They can watch a stream of the show on Saturday morning at 8 o'clock if they want.
Okay, and I so appreciate this type of show. Sometimes you have a financial planner or something on it. You can really glean some good answers. And I've listened to Joe's program, and I thought, I wonder if people realize they're getting something free here that's usually for sale, and they don't have to drive to the attorney's office. And
it's always good to have a little more information.
Yeah,
you never can have enough, I think.
Okay, here's the first one from one of our employees here at the station. My wife was wondering, she is the POA, power of attorney, for her mom, who is in memory care assisted living. She has no assets to speak of, maybe $5,000 after funeral arrangements. Since there's no will or anything, is there anything my wife can do with whatever's left?
Well, if the person has minimal competence to do their will, that might be good, because then the personal representative, maybe her daughter, could be appointed. Some of these questions are a little hard to answer because you don't know if there are other children involved as well. But $5,000, she could also possibly just make that a paid on death account, so there wouldn't be any assets in the estate at the time.
What is paid on death? What is that?
You set up a bank account or a financial account, and the account has a named beneficiary on the account upon death. Now, I don't recommend that for most people, but on real small amounts in a question like this, that might work. She could also put daughter on the account as or, mother or daughter, so daughter can have easy access to writing checks. If mother can still focus, if I went to see mother and she could focus and do you want to do a will? And she just shook her head and we had some focus going on. Do you want to leave? Who do you want to leave everything? I understand you have 3 children. You want to leave it to them equally. She can shake her head, with some focus, and I know she's connecting with me. Then I could do a simple will for her.
Yes, and also, if this is in a joint bank account, there's no problem.
Right, joint account would go to the daughter.
Yeah.
Now, I usually tell clients not to do that, particularly on larger accounts, because if mother takes all of her money and puts daughter's name on it, and daughter gets sued, divorced, or has an accident, or has some creditor issue, then mother could lose all of her money because she did that. On that particular question, because it's the $5,000, that might be the best move, though, because there's not much there. That's
the beauty of asking an attorney, because you think all of the things that could happen.
Right.
That could wipe it out.
Yeah, lots of
experience. Yeah, I'm not sure I ever really thought of it till you just said that there are multiple things that could happen that would wipe it out for everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, general advice is not to put your children's names on your accounts, because their problems could jeopardize your accounts.
So if I have a child on my account and she had a big accident or something, they could go for that bank account, right?
Right.
I think I put mine in trust.
Yeah, trust. Now, I always ask people, well, why did you do that? Well, why do you want to put your child's name on your account? And the answer almost always is to avoid probate.
Yeah.
And I said, well, there's a better way to avoid probate with a living trust, because you are the sole owner of the trust. And even though your daughter might become trustee of the trust, it's all for your benefit while you're living, and then the account still avoids probate upon death. So with a trust, you avoid probate, you avoid guardianship, you maintain ownership. You don't have to worry about your child's creditor problems, and it's a much better way to do it most of the time.
When I was a whole lot younger, say teenager, 20s, whatever, I never heard that much about trust, but they have become kind of a household word recently. At what point did they kind of become available for average people?
Well, a guy named Dacey wrote a book in the 60s on avoiding probate.
I remember the name of that book.
Right. It was a very popular book. In fact, it was the #1 book published that year, I think. And #2 was Masters and Johnson's book on sex. So there's a lot of interest in avoiding probate that year.
I'm not sure I get the connection there, but I'll leave it alone.
That's Masters and Johnson were, I don't know who they were. They were famous doctors who wrote a book on...
Yeah, I remember them.
I don't even know what the book was exactly about, but I know it was on sexual things between spouses or whatever. And now avoiding probate was more popular that year than that book. But that book suggested you do an individual trust for each asset. A lot has changed since that book, but that made the public more aware of estate planning and using trust in estate planning.
All right, here's another one. If you have a will and a living trust, what happens if you do not put your assets into the living trust, and how do you do that? Should I put life insurance proceeds into a living trust or directly pay out to heirs?
Well, when you do a living trust, most of the time you do what's called a pour-over will. A pour-over will is a will that leaves all the loose ends or things you forgot to put in the trust into the trust.
Wow.
So if you had like 5 bank accounts and you put 4 of them in the name of the trust like you should have, but you forgot one, then that will would leave that one to the trust, but through probate, that one account would go.
It would have to go through probate?
Yeah, because they didn't do what they should have done by putting the asset in the trust. Now, putting assets in the trust is not difficult, it's just a simple name change. When clients leave my office, they leave with an instructional sheet. I do their real estate for them in Florida, because I'm only licensed in Florida, and give them instructions on how to get their other assets in the trust. Insurance is an interesting question because insurance with named beneficiaries does avoid probate and doesn't need to go into the trust.
It goes directly to the beneficiary?
Yes, but, there's always a but. There might be a good reason not to make your child a direct beneficiary. And one of the benefits of trust is trust can handle assets over a period of time. So suppose one of your children has an addiction, has a spending problem, is on special needs with government benefits. If you gave them an outright inheritance, that they would lose their benefits. You can have the beneficiary of the account be the trust just because of the special circumstances. And the trust can dole it out over a period of years so they can't spend it all at once. Keep it away from an evil in-law that would spend it all at once, maybe. If they're drug addicted, you can set the trust up to where there's mandatory and random testing, so they get a monthly amount of money, but through the testing, the addiction pops back up, is suspended, but can be used for rehab. Yes, insurance can be set up to have a direct beneficiary, but if you have a special purpose where you don't want them to get a large amount of money at once, you can make the trust a beneficiary and have special provisions in the trust.
That really makes sense, and as I was listening to you, I was thinking same thing over. All of these little caveats that can happen, and this is, I guess, why we have legal people to...
When I get to speak at a group, which I do, in fact, I'm speaking at Indian Rocks Baptist Church tomorrow night, actually. But I'll ask the audience a lot of times, well, how many people here have perfect children? And most of the time, nobody raises their hand.
Even in church.
Once in a while, somebody will raise a hand. I always tell them they're in denial. Because
right.
No perfect children. So there are always special reasons to do special things in estate planning. And you can take care of those in a much more being a good steward way.
Yes, and we have Attorney Pippen's website up right now. And let me address any church leadership who might be listening right now. Especially in the Tampa Bay area, you're available to come and talk to the people. You'd be doing your parishioners a big favor to do that.
Well, thank you. I get to speak at a lot of churches. I spoke to a widows group on Saturday.
Boy, they need some really direction, I would think.
They need information. Everybody needs information. I was going to share one little story with you that I told you about earlier.
Yes, yes, I want the audience to hear that.
So when I go to a church and speak, there are 3 Christian radio stations that also carry my program. So once in a while, I have a very obvious situation where somebody believes in Jesus as the Lord and Savior. So when that becomes obvious to me, then I ask them, I said, would you like a Christian testimony clause in your will? So yesterday, I had a 96-year-old client die. Her 4 children came to see me yesterday. And I'm looking at the will, and I said, Mom, put a Christian testimony clause in your will. 96 is a good long run, but she's expecting to see you later.
Wow.
And you know, in this particular group, which I'll probably say is unusual, I believe, of course you never know, and I'm not their judge, it seemed to me every person there was a Christian, and every person acknowledged they were looking forward to see Mom again.
I can't imagine the impact of something like that. It's just, my mother left some of that kind of information around. It wasn't in the will, but to put it in an official document like that, I think is...
Yeah, the last thing a child's going to read is their parents' will, something that they sign. It's probably their will.
Yes, and
yesterday the daughter said, would you please read that out loud for my sibling?
Yeah. I wish I could have been just a little mouse in the corner.
It was a neat experience.
To hear that.
It was very...
Yes, and also think of the impact if you have children who are really wandering away from God. And you've just buried them, really. And here's Mom's voice from the grave, you know. It's a great idea.
You know, I've recently read David Jeremiah's book on heaven and Robert Jeffrey's book on heaven.
Yeah.
And I'm anxious to go. It's going to be a great place to go. I'm absolutely looking forward to it.
Yeah, everything is pointing to the end of the age, you know, whether you die or you meet Jesus in the air. Things are about to wind up. Okay, so basically the answer to this one is that even insurance proceeds
they could
go to the trust.
Avoid probate, or they could go to the trust for a special purpose.
Wouldn't the trust be the better choice?
No, the trust, if you're going to leave everything directly outright to your children, then the trust just creates an extra step at that point, because the insurance doesn't go through probate, so it can go directly to the children and not.
But isn't there an expense to probate?
It does. The insurance with beneficiaries doesn't go through probate.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So having it come to the trust just creates an extra step, although you could.
So it's not necessary.
It's not necessary.
Yeah.
Just like retirement accounts.
Okay. Why would anybody set up an irrevocable trust? Is that set in concrete and it's immovable and nobody can change it?
Yeah, most people don't. Most people that create trusts, and the ones that I prepare are living trust. They can amend, change, revoke at any time. An irrevocable trust is not that flexible.
Yeah.
And actually, when you create an irrevocable trust and put something in it, you don't get it back. I mean, it's governed by what the trust says. And the trust might say income only to them. Usually it's for a special purpose. Usually it could be a charitable trust where you're doing it for tax reasons. It used to be you would do an irrevocable trust in Medicaid planning, but now that creates a 5-year look-back period, so it's not often used.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't make enough to make a difference on that. Can trust control the date of disbursements?
Absolutely.
That's pretty important for some situations.
It's important for minor children because a trust, you have minor children, you want to leave them, but you don't want them to get it till they're 25 or 21.
35.
Or 35 or 60 as a retirement account.
Hope they'll grow up.
So you definitely can control the distribution in the trust.
Now, what about multiple marriages, and you've got 2 kids with this wife and 3 kids with this wife, and how are you going to divide those assets, and shouldn't the trust be very explicit?
Well, let's say you love your children equally and want to treat them equally, and they have different. One has 2 children, one has 4. Usually, I would say clients would leave equally to their children, and then have a provision if their child is not living, then that portion goes to their children.
Oh, okay.
So most people don't worry about one child has 6 children and one child has 1. I mean, they just treated those equal shares down those bloodlines.
So what if there's a trust and you've got the trust and you put the assets in it and you get a divorce? Do you just kind of start all over? Does that make, or you would personally maybe make it null and void and start over?
Well, if a married couple created a trust and they owned everything jointly and had a divorce, now they're separate assets, they'd each create a new separate trust.
Okay. Trusts are more expensive than wills, and they are more complicated to set up, but in the long run, trusts usually save grieving families time and money. That's true, right?
Well, I would disagree. They are a little more expensive. The fee, we publish our fees on our website that they posted. If a couple came in and did 2 wills, 2 power of attorneys, healthcare surrogates, and living wills, those documents would be like $620. If they did a trust, they would get all of those documents plus the trust and the deed to the house for $795. For the extra $175, they avoid probate, avoid guardianship, make it quick, easy, fast, efficient for their children. So
That sounds like the biggest bargain I've heard in a long time.
well, there's a common myth. People think now there are some you should shop around for fees maybe a little bit, because I know we're broadcasting in multiple cities around the United States.
Right.
I'm in Florida.
We're in Florida.
I'm licensed in Florida. I publish my fees. I do know there are attorneys in the area that will charge a couple $1,000s for a trust. So there is a difference on how different attorneys charge on fees. So if I were them, I'd be a good shopper and just call and see how long you've been in practice, how many estate plans have you done, and what are your fees. So.
Yes, and like I said, we got the website up. You can find out how to reach him through that, but you can create any of these documents in the state of Florida, right?
Oh, sure. We have 20 offices around Florida, so we have
you're
anybody who lives in Florida I can represent.
Okay. And I've known him for at least 30 years, maybe more, and he's taken care of my situation. And my mother, was he about 98 the last time
She was feisty at 98.
I know. I took her to your office, and you asked her a question. She kind of threw it back at you or something. So, but that's when you really, really appreciate an attorney that you feel like you can trust, and he's a believer. He's been a believer, strong church member as long as I've known him. And you know, we're out of time. So I think you're going to have to rearrange your schedule to come in here once in a while, and we'll answer these questions from real people.
Put me on a monthly schedule. I'll be here.
Okay. I would like that very much. And I just, I get so much satisfaction out of bringing people like Joe to you. And also we have doctors on, we have financial planners on, and we talk about homekeepers. All of these things are involved in keeping home. And I'm very gratified to bring them to you. But we are out of time, so join me next time. Remembering, friends, there's no higher calling than that of a homekeeper. God bless you.
If you should miss a Homekeepers program, you can catch up by going to www.ctnonline.com. Click on CTN Programs and then on Homekeepers.